So we have the theme of forgiveness. Now, we hear it all the time. I think as Christians, we're familiar with this gospel. Jesus instructs us to forgive one another. We say this in the Our Father. It's sort of wired into us, but it's something we need to hear time and time again. So know that when Jesus speaks, whether it's a parable or a teaching, it's generally directed to two folks or sorts of folks. It's directed to us personally, and it's directed to the church, the kingdom, to society, if you will. So forgiveness, we need to individually forgive, and then society also needs this message of forgiveness. Now, one of the things is hardest for me in forgiveness, and it's very difficult. So first of all, it's a grace. Okay, so we need to pray for the grace to forgive, because it's really difficult. Especially if someone has really hurt you. But with God, all things are possible. So all God is asking for you is just ask Him for help. Lord, help me to forgive this person. But we also have to recognize, and which can be hard, is that we've been wounded. Okay, that we're susceptible, we're vulnerable to being hurt by someone. It's kind of a pride or an ego thing that we have, like no one could really ever affect me, and so we bury or we suppress the hurt that we've experienced. We don't acknowledge it. So the first thing is like, wow, I actually am somewhat sensitive or emotional, whatever it might be, and I've been hurt by this person. And so to take that hurting heart to God, that can begin the process then of forgiveness, because you could see just what that person really did to you and how you're affected by that individual. Now, then, society, okay? It's something I really think we need to hear right now, especially the need to forgive. You've all heard of this phrase, like the cancellation culture that's going on in our world. So a lot of people, I mean, everyone for that matter, makes mistakes. We do stupid things. We say the wrong thing. We hurt each other. It's because we're fallen human beings. It's inevitable. No one is perfect, only Jesus and his mother Mary. As much as I might like to try to be kind and generous and outgoing, whatever it might be, I'm going to hurt you. And it's not necessarily intentional, but it's just going to happen. Okay? So we say things, people are offended, and what our culture is doing these days is we're not forgiving the individual. We're saying you're done, you're over, you're canceled, you're out. Now, it's why? Why is that a bad thing? Well, is it really like promoting peace and harmony? Well, no, it's just kind of whitewashing everything, because then no one's really going to be able to be themselves. I mean, we have to be free to talk, even though we're going to make mistakes. That's why Jesus says you got to forgive 77 times, because He knows we're going to say things that hurt each other. Okay, so if we don't forgive each other, if we don't have instead of a cancellation culture, but a forgiveness culture, if we don't have that, then no one's going to speak, or no one's going to feel comfortable, no one's going to be themselves. We're basically going to become like a utopia, or just like robots, okay? We're not going to be fully alive. And that's what Jesus has come to do, to make us fully human beings. Notice again, He didn't say never offend anyone, because He knows that's just an impossible task. He says forgive everyone, because we're going to be offended. So we can pray for ourselves for this grace to forgive, but let's also pray for our culture. We really need it. This isn't condoning the mean, negative, evil things that are said or done, but rather the response, that we can really not fight evil with evil, but fight evil with love, with the heart of Jesus Christ. Amen.